colleagues, I am very honored to rise today for someone who I knew early in my career, the Honorable Michael Gage. Michael was a member of the State Assembly, and he served back in the days of the speakership of Leo McCarthy. And so he is in that class of members who, because he was here 2 years, never served in this chamber, unless perhaps he was sworn in here early on. But Michael Gage was an intrepid guy and a lifetime explorer, and he passed away just Monday of last week, August 23rd, after succumbing to cancer at age 76. Mike Gage was born on May 1, 1945, to Mary and George Gage in Glendale, California. Upon graduation from high school, he enrolled into the Army, became a paratrooper, Army Airborne. So I assure you, he was intrepid in ways that you and I might fear. During this time, he would discover a love for the environment and for politics from his military service. After the Army, still in his early 20s, he went to work as a choker setter in Alaska during the summer of 1967. That's mean he was a part of a logging team as trees were felled and they were limbed, reducing them to trunks. Somebody had to set the cables to haul it off site to continue on his journey. A very hard, treacherous, energetic job, and that's what he did in the summer of '67, the summer of love. And he formed opinions in that era about how he viewed the treatment of our natural environment, and they would influence his whole career. He eventually, during this time, during the 70s, is when he served 2 terms in the State Assembly. He was a part of that era that passed the original ALRB law during Jerry Brown's first term, working a very, very monumental accomplishment in young Governor Brown's first term in office. He is remembered for never discussing his time as a lawmaker without emphasizing his staff, whom we always said worked with him, not for him. So it tells you a little bit of his mindset. He eventually, in 1987-89, also served as the Los Angeles Deputy Mayor and chair of the powerful LA Department of Water and Power Commission and the MWD of Southern California. That was during the tenure of Tom Bradley as mayor. A very important time in his life to serve with Tom Bradley in that role. Of this public service career, he recently wrote, because he put a Facebook posting about 6 weeks before he passed away, right before he went into hospice care. He wrote, "I loved my time as a state legislator, and I believe I did a good job, had an outstanding staff to help me, and got some decent work done," said Mike Gage. "I was a solid supporter of Jerry Brown as governor and presidential candidate, still have close friends from that early era." He commented, "Interestingly, I may have enjoyed my time working on public policy as a staff guy more than my time as a legislator. I loved the multiple years working as staff to the legislature with John Dunlap, who we regard as his chosen mentor, Leo McCarthy, and then with Tom Bradley." He said, "Working as Tom Bradley's deputy mayor and chief of staff was an honor and a privilege." After declining a 3rd term in the State Assembly, Mike decided to take his love for adventure in the outdoors to river rafting, became a rafting guide with a firm known as Sobeck Expeditions, and of that part of his life, Mike Gage stated in this recent Facebook posting, July 8th of this year, "As a whitewater rafting guide and boatman in Alaska, the Grand Canyon, and India, Pakistan, Chile, Turkey, Zambia, and Zimbabwe, I was able to see several small parts of the world uniquely and intimately," as indeed I'm sure he did from the river. Mike's fearless spirit and multifaceted character would briefly lead him to work as a reporter for NBC4 in Los Angeles, right before becoming president and CEO of his own nonprofit, CalStart, which developed clean energy solutions, including electric vehicles. Mike followed an unconventional path, one that many might fear pursuing today. His uniqueness and rare outlook on life will make him stand out today, tomorrow, and forever as we remember this member of our most august body. He wrote and published, as I said, his own Facebook obituary 6 weeks before his untimely death. He was an accomplished and yet very unassuming and self-effacing man. True to those qualities to the end, Mike entitled his July 8th online obituary as "Weird Kid Ends Up with a Great Life." And what a way to regard one's life as one faces its end. Mike Gage, former member of our body, is survived by his beloved wife Lacey, his son Damon, and his 6 grandchildren, August, Michaela, Langley, Sophia, Claire, and Anne, all of whom added to the treasured, very great life we remember him for today. And I thank you that we adjourn in his memory.